The Greek government is set to get further rescue funds from its international lenders ahead of a July deadline. It's done that by promising to cut pensions again in 2019 and by lowering the level at which people pay tax in 2020, by which time it hopes to offset those austerity measures. The agreement could lead to talks on the country's massive debt being reworked to give more time to pay it back or even cancel some of that debt. But an economics professor told Euronews that Greece will have to agree to lots more reforms to get future debt relief. This deal is by no means the end of the road, because any future agreement with regard to debt relief will require further heavy commitments from the Greek side. And one can imagine what those commitments are going to be like. The latest agreement should unfreeze the bailout loans needed to repay previous loans. It leaves Greeks facing years more austerity and hardship. This man told us, "I used to be a university professor, and my pension has already been cut by 60%. That means things are really hard. It's very difficult to adapt to these new conditions." This woman said, "We're barely managing. In the block of flats where I live, out of 8 families, it's just me and a taxi driver who have a proper job." The previous loans have stopped Greece going bankrupt, but were only granted when Athens agreed to massively slash government spending, which has had the effect of devastating the economy. Our correspondent says by the end of next week at the latest, the Greek parliament needs to pass the new measures before eurozone finance ministers approve the disbursement of loans, probably at the next scheduled meeting of eurozone finance ministers on May the 22nd.
Από την Αθήνα για το Euronews, Σταμάτης Γιάννησης.